Hi, I'm Stephanie with DMC Travel Tailor, and I'm here with Tara D'Agostino with Wanderluxe Destinations. Wanderluxe Destinations is a luxury boutique representation company based in New Jersey. They curate a collection of properties that they believe in, and what I love about them is that they are all about finding those properties that involve rest, relaxation, and of course, luxury. So today we're going to go over a few hotels. Three are in the US for those of you that are looking to stay closer to home, and one is in the Caribbean in Jamaica. The first one we're going to speak about is Ventana in Big Sur, California, which is just in a gorgeous setting. And it's one of our virtuoso properties. So when we book this hotel, you'll get your amenities, which of course I'll let you know what all those are. So, Tara, what would you say makes this property so special?
Well, there are a lot of things that make the property special, of course, but Ventana is just in a special place. So, as you said, it's in Big Sur, and I think Big Sur and Highway 1 and doing that very famous drive is simply just a bucket list item for anyone, just to do the drive. So, to actually stay in Big Sur and be literally a bird's nest in the redwood forest overlooking the Pacific Ocean. I honestly don't think there could be better views or you could be breathing better air in all the world. So there's so many special things about it, but I think the location in and of itself is what is so stunning.
Oh, it totally sells it. And I will add, because my husband and I actually did that drive on Highway
Yeah.
1. We used to live in San Jose, and one time we just decided we're going to get in the car, we're going to go visit my cousin that lives in Orange County, and we did the whole drive. And I can't tell you, it was like we couldn't stop stopping on the road
Yeah.
because it was one view was better than the next, was better than the next, and that was just Big Sur, and it's just so enchanting and mystical, and I think it's great. Now I know that property is adults only, but there's also a glamping
That's
section
correct.
of it, if you will, that
Yeah.
that families can do. So can you speak a little bit about the glamping part?
Sure. So, as you said, Ventana is really reserved for adults. And what I love about this is I do think because it's just adults, it's great for a baby moon, it's great for a honeymoon, it's great for a couple's getaway. But what we do have on the ground floor, so as I said, Ventana kind of sits up in the treetops of the
Yeah.
redwoods. But in the redwood forest itself, we have this amazing glamping site with 15 glamping tents. And with those tents, you can have children in the glamping site. So we actually have two airstreams down there, which is really cool because they're serving camp food, but glammed up a little bit. So it's not just your regular fries, it's like poutine, right? And then, of course, within that, we have two amazing and very beautiful bathrooms that our glampers can use. And I was actually there last July, and it was really fun because I saw Jennifer Garner hiking that area with her kids.
No
So
way.
it's a very famous, you're definitely going to have a star sighting if you're at the glamping site, and you most likely will have a star sighting if you're just staying at Ventana as well.
And
So.
they have tons of hiking there, so it's great for people that are active. So, and even if you're not active, you can just choose to sit and relax, poolside, or you can choose to do a hike. But they do for people that love hiking. I think it's a great option for them because there's so much to offer.
Absolutely. And just so you know as well, for all of your clients out there, that if you are doing the glamping site with children, you are permitted to have the children in the Ventana restaurant. So if you wanted to get a little dressed up one night and do something a little more formal, as opposed to hot dogs on the grill or the Airstream, you can definitely do that. And I think sometimes mom and dad want to have a beautiful glass of wine where they're overlooking the Pacific. But of course, for those just staying at Ventana, not only do we have our amazing restaurant there and the amazing views, but we have an amazing spa. And it's all open air to the redwood forest. And like I said, when you're breathing in that air, it's so pure. We have an amazing organic garden, and you can do a garden tour. And the gardener there is just so passionate about what he's doing. And ironically, the gardener's wife is our yoga instructor.
Oh my
So just to even see the two of them together is really cute. But we have, amazing meditation and yoga classes. And of course, if there's any, if you have any type of couples wanting to travel together, we can definitely accommodate that. Or even for corporate groups, we can accommodate what they would need as well.
That's great to know.
Yeah,
And what I like about it is it's not that far from, San Francisco
no,
or San Jose,
no.
depending on where you're flying into. And you could also pair it with one of the next properties that we're going to be speaking
Yeah,
about, which is Carmel Valley Ranch.
yeah.
And it's not even like an hour away from there, right? If
So
you wanted to pick
it's about 20 miles on Highway 1. You're going to go a little bit north. It will take about, when I drove it, it took about 50 minutes. So, it's kind of those curvy roads. And I think you're just driving even slower because you're looking at the views. So stunning. But yeah, Carmel Valley Ranch. So just to talk about Carmel Valley, it's definitely super family friendly. So they've got so much there, and it lies, you're kind of within Monterey and Carmel and Pebble Beach. So it's great for families because you have amazing pools and you have archery and you have beekeeping and you have a petting zoo. But it's also really amazing for couples as well. We do have 2 Pete Dye golf courses on property. It was so exciting because they started cultivating vineyards about 7 years ago, and they have been producing wine for the last 3 or 4 years. And so I was able to taste some of the wine and walk the vineyards. So that's amazing as well. And again, just amazing dining, spectacular views. The town of Carmel is such a wonderful artsy town. My
It
husband and I keep
is.
saying that's where we will move when we stay in the United States because we just love the area. But it just, again, this fresh air. It's very enticing for families or for couples. Again, amazing spa, amazing pools. So anything you could have for that rest and relaxation that we were talking about.
Yeah, and I agree with you on Carmel. It was always a favorite of Danielle and I's too. We spent a couple different weekends up there because we like the vibe, and of course the setting's so gorgeous and you're right on the water there. So yeah, pairing it with Big Sur would be kind of cool because it's coastal, to another coast, but then you're in the vineyard, so it's all about
Yeah.
wine tasting. So for wine lovers, that's great. And this is also one of our virtuoso properties. So here you'll get amenities too, which is clients always love because why not? They're extra perks.
Yeah. And then, of course, as all of your clients know, if you connect with me, we might just be able to add an extra amenity here or there, depending on what your client wants. So that's always good as well.
That is always welcome, and we love that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And I just think both of the properties really speak to each other. They're sister properties. So I think, if you're going for a week, it's great to do both of them and to have a different type of feel in both locations. So, and just so you know too, we do have daycare on property at Carmel Valley Ranch as well. So that's really nice. So mom and dad, if they both are golfers, they can go and golf in the morning and leave kids at daycare. And like I said, just lots of different pools and lots of different activities. And, I was there in July and I love the weather there in July. It's kind of the closest thing that we have to a Mediterranean climate is there. And
Oh
we
yeah.
get there, so it's like warm during the day, but at night they still have the fires going and you can make s'mores in the fire pits. And the smell of the fire and like overlooking the vineyards and watching the sunset. It's magic.
Oh gosh, I mean, just a picture of that lavender field is
Oh,
just
oh, and the lavender.
gorgeous.
Yes, it's so amazing. And actually, they do a lot with their own lavender there. So in
Oh,
the rooms are all of their lavender sachets. You can take those home. They do a lot with lavender products in your rooms. And then also with our beekeeping and our honey, we have things that we do with our honey on property. So you don't just go and see the bees, you get to like taste the honey that they're
what
producing.
what is that beekeeping all about? Because that sounds so cool, especially for a kid
Yeah,
that, maybe wants to learn a little bit more about bees. Like that
it
would be
is.
interesting.
It's a whole educational experience. So everyone has the bee suits on and our beekeepers with you and they're taking the honeycombs out and they're teaching you about the bees. And of course, I love the conservation sustainability component of it as well, because that's just so important. I think as a mother with my children, it's all about teaching them, and bees are such an integral part of our environment and our sustainability as a culture. So yeah, so it's like really fun, but it's really educational at the same time. And then they also are curating collections of goat cheese from local farmers. So that's
Wow,
really cool.
that is
Yeah,
cool.
and there's just, like I said, they have a lot of different things going, and every season you can find something a little bit differently. So, yeah, it's just a great property.
It is. And what I love about both of them, and really all the properties we're going to speak about today, is that, they're set on these, many acres, of land. So it's like for the people that are kind of, a little bit hesitant to travel and that want to kind of stay socially distant, you can at these properties. And
Yes.
I think that's really special.
They do speak to naturally social distance. And, you can go on the websites, but of course, they are laying out, the protocol for what it will be. So the good thing is, like, just at the pool for both Ventana and Carmel Valley, the chairs will be socially distanced. But of course, if you're a family, you can be in the pool together. And I think we are finding that chlorine is killing the virus, so that's a good thing. So yeah, you can be together as a family, but you can naturally socially distance at these properties, which, you're right, lends them to be such a great option, particularly for this summer and fall.
Yeah, and what I mean for the people too that like to get their points, I think it's important to also note, because I would have never guessed that these two properties are under the Hyatt Collection, and
Yes.
so for people that actually have Hyatt points, they can get their points
Yeah,
here. So that's great, and
totally. Ventana is actually the first Alila hotel we have in the United States, so we're very proud of that. And then Carmel Valley Ranch is a part of the Unbound collection. And yeah, we are. We're just very proud to have both of these, in our collection. And even though we really look to represent more family-owned boutique hotels, we really felt that both Ventana and Carmel Valley spoke to the ethos of our company. And when you talk about rest, relaxation, level of service, and luxury, we're really looking at all of that too. And again, we're just very proud to have them as a part of us.
yeah, no, I mean they both. I mean they're both in such gorgeous settings. I don't think
Yeah.
you can go wrong. And then I think you get a certain sort of feel depending on the location you're in. And I think in both of those locations, it would be a very freeing feel, I can imagine. So that's
Yeah,
awesome. Now
definitely.
we're gonna take it to Arizona and
Yes.
Ethel Hot Springs. So
Yeah.
there, what I love that you said about it is that it makes you feel happy. So can you tell
Yeah.
me why it makes you feel happy?
So, just as I was telling you, I've been to the property now twice, and it's only been open since February of 2019. Yes, it's 2020. So February of 2019 is when it first opened. And sometimes the first time you're on a property, it's magic, and you come away from it. But I really think the true test of it is the second time you go to a property. And I was able to go in January of this year, and I just drove on property, and I was instantly happy. But there's something else to it. So the property is known, it's famous for its lithium springs. So we have these hot springs that are coming from 2 miles below the earth. It's 3 different pools. They range from about 86 degrees to 106 degrees. But many hot springs in the world are actually sulfur springs. And sulfur springs are kind of smelly, and people don't really like to be around them, but they are really good for your skin.
Yeah.
Our springs are lithium springs. And lithium springs, number one, they don't smell, which is great. But number two,
Wonderful.
lithium makes you happy. So you're in these springs and you're just happy. We have the lithium water in the room. So you're drinking the lithium water, you're in the lithium water. We are even making a lithium lager made with the water. So you're drinking beer with lithium. So you're just happy when you're on
Happy all
property
around.
because of the lithium.
I love that. And of course also the setting here is just gorgeous as well. So you can't go wrong. And just to be in those healing waters, I think it's great for people, especially that enjoy wellness.
Yeah.
I think they would really be drawn to that. And besides the springs, are there other activities that people can do here?
There absolutely are. So the beauty of Castle Hot Springs, and it is an adult-only property, is that it's pretty inclusive. So included in the rate is all of your food and snacks. Alcohol is not included, but you definitely want to imbibe because we have just amazing cocktails, like artisan cocktails. But so included in the rate is your gourmet all-inclusive, all of your food and all of your snacks, all of your gratuities, all of your housekeeping and bell service. There is no resort fee. It includes
Nice.
yoga, meditation, wellness classes, pickleball, bocce, e-bikes,
Wow.
paddleboard yoga, archery, farm tours, guided hikes, and we're adding via ferrata. And that's included in your rate. So it's
Wow.
pretty unbelievable. Yeah.
That is. So
It's,
yeah, needless to say, people are not going to get bored there.
no,
For those that want to
and
partake in
like I said, you're just so happy. Like if you feel bored, then just go in the lithium hot springs and then you're just very happy again.
actively. Oh, I love that. And how far is it from Phoenix? So they know it's not far from Phoenix.
Yeah, so it's about 90 miles north of the Phoenix airport. Of course, many clients rent a car and drive. We do recommend that they rent a four-wheel vehicle. So the property is only open from September to the end of May, beginning of June, and it's a reverse seasonal property. So it's closed during the summer because the last 7 miles into the property, it's located in the Bradshaw Mountains, is actually riverbed. So that actually becomes a river during the summer. So when you're driving in, you do need a four-wheel vehicle. You do not want to have a low-profile vehicle because those last 7 miles are fun to drive. But again, in a four-wheel vehicle, they're fun to drive. You know, we can also transfer your clients for about $200 each way.
Okay.
Or if you want to get really chic, we do have a helicopter transfer from the Scottsdale airport. So we can bring you in on helicopter as well, which is really fun.
Yeah.
I think it's really important to mention as well that this property has actually been around since the late 1800s. And, you know, all of the names, the Rockefellers, the Vanderbilts, the Astors, they all went to this property and they would come for a month or two at a time because of these hot springs. John F. Kennedy recuperated at Castle Hot Springs after World War II. So
Mhm.
it's really entrenched and it has this deep history. Unfortunately, the hotel in the early 70s did sustain a fire, so it's gone dormant since then, but we recently had someone come in and buy the property, 2,000 acres, by the way. Um, and he actually built, you know, we have 12 spring bungalows on property. We have 17 sky view cabins. So it's just a sanctuary and it's a retreat. And it's really, truly an oasis in the middle of the desert. As you're driving in, it's all desert and mountains. And then you see this oasis that is Castle Hot Springs. So the history is really important because it's been around for so long.
Yeah.
And, you know, we really tried to stay true to the history of the property as well and to really build these bungalows and skyview cabins into the landscape that's there.
No, it's fascinating, and I love that story. And just like with Ventana and Carmel Valley Ranch, you can kind of pair it with San Francisco or even Napa,
Yeah.
Ventana. But I like with this, if somebody wants to explore Scottsdale, they can
Yes.
pair it with Scottsdale or they can pair it with Phoenix. So it's kind of nice. You could kind of make the trip longer, do 2 or 3 nights, in one
Yeah.
location, and then what would you say, like about 3 nights would be
I
good?
think 3 nights is the perfect amount of time. It depends on how much R&R you do want. You know, we do have Wi-Fi on property, but we really encourage our guests to kind of just enjoy the nature and enjoy the R&R there. I do think it pairs really well with Sedona too.
Oh yeah.
So you can do Castle Hot Springs first and then go up to Sedona. You can do Castle Hot Springs and then go back to Scottsdale and Phoenix, as you said.
Oh,
So it really is, it's very easy to get to, and it really pairs nicely with either of those.
I love that. I love that. And I think it's just, it's convenient for people, especially if they're close to those locations and they can drive. And for the people out there that want to drive, initially when they start traveling again, it's a great option. And now we're going to take it to the Caribbean. We have a fabulous Round Hill. So,
Yes.
gosh, this one looks so beautiful. Just the colonial, decor and architecture there. And what would you say is the thing you love most about it? if you can pinpoint one thing. I know that's hard, but
It is. It is hard, but I think the thing that I love most about Round Hill is it's like taking a step back in time. It feels very old world Caribbean. And, it's so funny. One thing that some of our properties have in common. So I just mentioned Castle Hot Springs
yeah.
and John F. Kennedy. So John F. Kennedy has quite the reputation at Round Hill as well, because
Yeah.
he gets to go there with his family. And, he wrote his inaugural speech at Round Hill. And, um, everybody who was anybody went to Round Hill. So when you go in the bar, you see all of the photographs of, these iconic people from all over the world, and they've all gone to Round Hill. So when I say it's like taking a step back in time, you go to the bar and you see this, and the lobby is still, the checkered white and black floor with the beautiful candlelit chandelier every night. And so that is what I love most about Round Hill, is it's like taking a step back in history.
Yeah, yeah, and it's in Montego Bay, so I know
Yes.
from there for people that want to see Dunn's River Falls, it's a
Yeah.
day trip, so that's an option. And what I love about it too is that it also has villas, so it's
Yeah.
great for families if you want to do 2, 3, and 6 bedroom villas there.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 6 bedroom, 2 to 6 bedroom villas. We have 27 villas. All of the villas do have amazing views of the ocean. They are built up on a hill, so that's why we get really amazing views, because they're all staggered. Most of them do have pools. And then besides the villas, we do have a 38-room boutique hotel called the Pineapple House. Another thing I would love to mention about Round Hill, and I'm name dropping again, but Ralph Lauren does have 2 of his own villas on property.
That's
He
right.
designed the Pineapple House, and in 2018, his spring fashion show was an ode to Round Hill. He's been going there for so many years, and he loves it so much that he created a fashion show around the hotel. And I think, again, that just speaks to how special it is. The other thing I would really like to point out about the hotel is they really retain staff. So in the hotel industry, you do have quite a bit of turnover, but not at Round Hill. The managing director, Joseph Borsmer, has been there for a long time, and he has really implemented such an amazing ethos into the hotel and into the employees that everybody loves it. And the Jamaican hospitality is just warm and inviting in and of itself.
Yeah.
But I think Round Hill is even another level. So those are all of the things that are so special about Round Hill. 20 minutes from the Montego Bay Airport, we can definitely arrange your client's transfers. And then we also have something called Club Mo Bay that Round Hill can arrange for you. So it's kind of like a VIP lounge, which
Okay.
is really nice as well, and not very costly at all.
That's awesome. No, and I love that you say that about the service because I feel like you can really tell and you can really feel it when you're somewhere where the employees are really happy and you know they're treated well, and it makes a huge difference, and it adds to our clients' experience. And so I do think that that's so important, and that's wonderful. That's
It is, and also with the villa rentals, you do have a cook, your housekeeper, and your gardener every day. And the thing I love about Round Hill is when we talk about really good service, it's really intuitive service.
yeah.
So it's them contemplating what the guest wants before they even ask for it. So when I was there with my family, it's probably been 6 or 7 years now. I'll never forget my daughter for breakfast wanted Rice Krispies one morning. So
Oh,
they had the Rice Krispies, and every morning thereafter, there
oh,
were her Rice Krispies with her bowl. So it's just, they just do the little things. They pick up on the details. And when you rent a villa, each villa has a book that you can write in.
oh.
And I think, again, it just speaks to kind of the hospitality and the warmth and how people want to come back. So you write in the book about your experience there and about your housekeepers. And I still keep in touch with my housekeeper and cook that
Oh,
were in that
that's
villa with us.
awesome.
So it's just a really special place.
No, it is. It is. And yeah, no, it's always about that attention to detail. And it is the little things. It's always the little things
It's
that
always
make the biggest difference. Well, thank you so much. I think these are all great options. And oh, and I should mention too, by the way, Round Hill is another Virtuoso property. So
yes,
your clients will get their amenities, which they love.
Yes.
And I just wanted to thank you for talking to me about these properties and these wonderful locations. And I know we're itching to have people travel again, so it'll be great, to kind of give them ideas of where they can go. And
Definitely.
and I
And
know
it's
we're going to follow up and do one on Italy, because not only do you have these properties, you have properties all over the world, and
yes,
some in Italy that are really remarkable. And I would love to do another session with you where we can kind of highlight those properties and talk about where Italy's at. So that'll be
I would
next.
I would love that as well. And just so all of your clients know, if they ever want to inquire about the properties or see a presentation, I'm happy to get on camera with you and with your clients and with our general managers or director of sales and really cater to all of your clients however we can, because that's really what we're about. So
That is awesome. No, and that does make a big difference. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. And okay, until we do our next one, thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of the day.
thank you, you too.
Thanks, Tara. Bye.